Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBet Solutions, and I wanted to cover a question that has become very popular when it comes down to investing in cars. And it's like, the question always comes about like, well, how many can I sell within a 12-month period? Well, if you're in Arizona like myself, I want you guys to know three things. So the first thing that I want you guys to know is that first, feel free to call a DMV or an MDB to verify. But if I'm not mistaken, and this is something that I've researched before, that you are given 6 cars to sell within a 12-month continuous period. I'm going to be talking about just simply selling 5 cars, right? So we're going to start with a principal balance of $1,000, as you guys see right here. And the really cool thing about this is that I think a lot of people can relate and actually start investing with $1,000. And I'm going to show you why. If you've ever wanted to get started when it comes down to trading, but maybe your principal balance you might think is a little bit too low, how maybe investing in cars and learning how to paper trade at the same time can be something of huge benefit. So this is going to be one of the main focuses. Again, this is going to be a goal. Every time that you go into investing in a car, this is one of the criteria that we're going to try to focus on. And that means have a 50% profit margin every single time before you purchase the car. And I'm going to explain how to determine this. Also, become aware of the car you are selling for your desired sell price. And what I mean by that is, again, our goal is to turn $1,000 to over $5,000 profit. And again, this could be done within a 12-month period. This isn't a get rich quick or anything like that. But if you're really just, maybe an extra $5,000 or an extra $6,000 a year, could be something that could be of huge help. Maybe it can mean that you can take an extra trip, some time off of work, or be able to give back to those that you love. Then again, so be it. But one of the biggest things is just getting the ball rolling when it comes down to investing. And this is what I'm going to explain to you. So with a 50% margin of profit, how do you come up with that, especially with $1,000? Well, the way that I think of it is the opposite way. So instead of trying to think, well, what can I buy for $1,000 to sell for $1,500? I try to think about what cars are selling for $1,500 on average to $2,000 that I can buy for $1,000, then sell for what they're actually worth. And again, this is where negotiation comes in. This is a goal. A 50% margin of profit is a goal. I want you guys to understand that the really cool thing about investing in cars, unlike any other market, is that there's a lot of controlled variables. Like, you get to decide before you make the investment decision to buy any car for $1,000, for $1,500, for $22,500. You get to decide if you choose to buy it or not. So you need to make sure that every single time before you purchase a car or a vehicle, that it meet your criteria. One of those criteria for this, goal is going to be a 50% margin of profit. So if my goal is to sell something for $1,500, I need to make sure that it's worth $1,500, right? So what cars are selling within my area for $1,500 to $2,000? And then again, that's where negotiation comes in. You need to make sure that you're consistently shooting offers and understanding how to effectively and consistently negotiate. So once you go from $1,000 to $1,500, again, a 50% margin. So once you go from $1,000 to $1,500, you just made 50% of your initial principal balance, right? Now from $1,500 to $22,500, right? Okay, so that's going to be really attractive. This is where the fun starts. From $22,500 to then $3,375. Again, this is a perfect template. This is not exactly how it's going to play out. Some of you guys might be making more than 50%. Some of you might be making less than 50%. But the whole point of this, when it comes down to pursuing any market, is to have a goal and to be goal driven. And that's why I'm presenting that margin of profit. You can set up your own for however aggressive it is that you want to take on this market. Now, why am I saying that around the third investment, this would be where all the fun is? Well, the really cool thing about this is that an investment that I'm currently looking into is something that a lot of you guys might be very familiar with. And it's a 2005 to 2008 Yamaha R6. The really cool thing about that is that there's a wide range of very reliable and high demand cars that are within the $3,000 to $4,000 range. This doesn't mean that you need to buy cars that are worth $3,300. This means that you can begin to buy vehicles that are worth $4,500, $5,000, and with your negotiation skills and with working with our team, teaching you those best practices on how to leverage and how to negotiate and building that margin of profit, right? Now looking into your fourth investment, right? $5,000. You went from $1,000 to $5,000. Now this is where you're going to get into still high volume cars, but much better and higher quality vehicles as well. And then on your fifth investment, if you choose to go that far, this is where, again, the much more desirable kind of Ford Mustangs, Camaros, Challengers, and all those fun cars, much faster cars can kind of get into. And again, it's not about buying cars that are worth $7,500, but it's actually buying vehicles that might be worth $9,000, $10,000. I'm not too sure if you guys remember, one of Harley's previous investments was a Camaro that he bought, if I'm not mistaken, for $7,500 and ended up selling for $10,500. So again, this is where you can really begin to compound your money, where it will be in the thousands of dollars. So for all those that want to be making profits, with them commas, this is where it all happens. But again, it's all about having fun and making money, and again, learning about a market that you could be passionate about. Again, you get to enjoy these vehicles as you drive them. When it comes down to ownership expenses, I don't want to hear any excuses if you're from Arizona, as we have the registration refund that we've talked about, meaning that if you only have the car for 2 months and you paid for a full year, right, of registration, you get a prorated refund back. On top of that, on private party sales, right? So we're talking about Craigslist, we're talking about OfferUp, we're talking about Facebook Marketplace, we're talking about any market that's not a dealership. You do not pay taxes on it. All you have to do is pay the registration, and on top of that, you get that money back once you sell the car and request that prorated refund, as we've explained within the Flipping Wheels lesson library. So again, I don't want to hear any excuses on why you guys can't grow your money. If your desire is to learn how to trade, if your desire is to grow your money, but you still need to learn how to trade, then why are you going to learn how to trade with real money? Why not begin to paper trade, learn the basics, make those mistakes, and consistently prove to yourself that you can grow that paper trading account. And in the meanwhile, learn about a market which in my experience has a much easier learning curve to actually be successful in. So then you can begin to actually grow your principal balance. And on the back end, once you're growing and consistently growing your paper trading account, once you want to make the fluid transition from fake money to real money, then guess what? You just turned $1,000 to $7,500. Let's say instead of starting with the $1,000, now you want to flex a little bit, so make sure that you put those $2,000, right, to fund your trading account, and guess what? That's all with profit that you made invested in cars. This isn't something that's going to happen within a month. This isn't something that's going to happen within 6 months. You are the sole decision maker, and you are the person that's going to ultimately guide if you're successful in this market. But again, it's all about taking action, and we want to make sure that if you have any questions whatsoever, we answer those questions for you. So again, this was just a little template on how you can consistently grow your $1,000 initial investment within a market that, in my experience, is much easier to understand and be successful. And so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys have any questions about what it is that we covered, again, I don't want to hear any excuses from those that are from Arizona and California. I want to jump on a call with you, and I want to make sure that we answer any questions that you guys might have. Again, the calls are absolutely free. If you have a couple questions about investing in cars, or about your first investment, we'd love to kind of just walk you through the process and see if being a part of our team would be something of value for you. So also, I'm going to plug a second link in the description. This is going to be for our free private Facebook group for Flipping Wheels. So you get to surround yourself with a bunch of like-minded individuals that are not only also learning about this market, but some that have also already have seen success in this market that are sharing their own best practices. So again, it's simply just surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. So the first link, schedule a call. Second link, surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Third thing, don't forget to like this video. Thank you guys again for your time. Continue working hard. Continue following dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. Boom, boom, boom. Let's make this money like always. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.